Hey, yo, say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, but I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Of course, we've got Wrestlemania this coming weekend. We're going to be doing our live reactions to that over at the twitch.tv/Steven Larson. There's a ton of wrestling going on this weekend. Of course, we're going to be doing our regular thing on Friday. We're going to be doing our Rampage watch along with, like, I guess probably a second screen up for the Hall of Fame. I'm going to have that anyways, just to see if anything strange goes down. Like if because that's being aired, right?
On Peacock, yeah.
On Peacock, yeah. I want to see what Steiner has to say.
That could be interesting.
I usually don't listen to Rampage anyways. I mean, it's Rampage. Who cares? But so yeah, we're going to be doing that on Friday. Our predictions are going to be dropping on Friday as well over at Friendo Club TV. Go check those out. And then, yeah, Saturday, watch along, recap. Sunday, watch along, recap. And then on Monday, we'll wrap up sort of like what other big events happened during
I said Takeover, Stand, Deliver. You know,
Ring of Honor, what's going on there, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So that should be some fun. I might check out Ring of Honor late Friday night, depending on how I'm feeling. Because it'll be an interesting. Ring of Honor is going to be an interesting
show. It will.
See if because you would think at this point like it'd be an AEW production.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyways, we're going to be talking about AEW tonight. Big events. Toni Storm made her AEW debut. Now, if you pay attention to our friendos over at Fightful, you'll know that Toni Storm was on the top of the list for AEW acquisitions in the free agent market in terms of their women's division. So this wasn't a big shock, but still, it was awesome to see. She got a massive pop, and she seemed overwhelmed with emotions when she came out there. Of course, she beat the Bunny to get into the Owen Cup tournament. And that was awesome. That was great to see.
It was awesome to see Toni Storm. You know, like she just pretty much up and left WWE, got a release, you know, waited out her no compete, and came out to a very loud ovation. And the emotion of that all was all over her face. You know, you could just tell the joy she was feeling. Probably being able to wrestle in front of that many people without having to worry about all the backstage BS that she probably had to deal with in WWE. And
well, more importantly, not have to worry about getting a pie in her face.
That too.
Cream pie. Yeah. Well, that's what it was, man. It was a pie made of some sort of creamy substance.
Probably, yeah.
Like a cream pie. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Cream pie.
It was cream pie.
To the face. So, no, that was awesome. And yeah, you know, you go out there, wrestle. We'll see. I want to see a little bit of the Toni Storm from like predating the entire WWE experience.
You know, it's even going back to NXT UK. I never really felt like, except for that brief little period in NXT where she was a heel. I never really felt like WWE as a whole utilized Toni Storm to her fullest. Because you see the stuff she did in Progress. We got to see one of her matches against Ginny in Progress live, and it was awesome. She's an outstanding wrestler, and I feel like we only got to see a small fraction of what she could do during her time at WWE.
I feel like the character stuff that I saw of her before WWE, like it was a small sample size, but it's not really a WWE thing that really she does. Like I know I always saw, even like her promos back in NXT UK, I was like, I don't know if this is ever going to work on main roster because they want people who could do the character thing in a certain way, in a sports entertainment way. But no, I hope that she'll fit in, you know, at AEW. People love her. They absolutely love her. And so yeah, Toni time, good stuff. Looking forward to seeing it. Also, we had more on this Wardlow MJF stuff, and the Pinnacle, as much as MJF likes to think it's a tight family, as he referred to it tonight. Doesn't really seem that way, man. FTR seems to be on their way out, seemingly. If tonight is to be believed.
Yeah, seemingly. So at one point, we got an MJF FTR interview, and FTR let it be known that that Wardlow was their buddy, and they didn't exactly appreciate how MJF was treating him. And as MJF might to do some team building exercises with FTR, they were not into it. In fact, after they beat the Ass Boys, MJF gets in the ring, tries to celebrate with FTR. Dax wants nothing of it.
Yeah, right.
He literally pushes his hand off his shoulder and starts getting in his face. I'm all about this. FTR is great. I think we give us some tweener FTR run. I think that'd be outstanding. And it definitely seems like Pinnacle is pretty much on its last legs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm interested in face FTR as long as when they go to AAA, they remain Rudos, because those dudes are literally there trying to start riots. It's pretty funny. They are still the AAA tag team champions. So yeah, as long as when they go there, they're still thoroughly bad guys, because they seem to have such a blast doing that. But yeah, they just want to be best wrestler guys. They got rid of Tully, and now we have another match between them and the Young Bucks to look forward to.
Yeah, seeing as
how the Young Bucks won at Full Gear 2020. Was it Full Gear 2020?
Yeah, I think so.
It was something 2020. I fully expect face FTR to win this one.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. So yeah, fun episode of Dynamite. It was, standard issue Dynamite, just bang, 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 fast.
A lot of really
pace.
good matches. They
really good matches
for the most part, fairly quick. For the most part, talky bits to advance story. There was a bit of a laborious Jericho Appreciation Society bit. I don't know what it is with Jericho of late with this new character. He kind of gets lost in his own promos these days.
Is it? Is it? Let me ask you something. Is there any chance, given that Jericho usually, like 9 times out of 10 throughout a long career, is completely and totally on point with his promos, and this just started happening when he's a sports entertainer? Is this a comment on the problems with scripted promos?
I was going to say, maybe what he does, this is just me spitballing here, speculating. Would it be interesting if he says, all right, this is what I want to say. He tells somebody, now go write it for me. And then and then he gets the script like 10 minutes before they do it, and he has to memorize it. That, again,
Jericho's an incredibly clever guy. The fact that he based his 2009 character off of Anton Chigurh means that, I mean, that to me, it was always like, oh shit, he knows about like cinema and stuff. He's an incredibly clever guy. It would not shock me if he did something like that. I mean, dude, it cannot be coincidence that he's referencing WWE during this whole thing, that he's talking up sports entertainment. And what's the biggest knock on WWE when it comes to their promos? They're overly scripted and people forget shit.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've noticed that the last, 3, 4, 5 weeks maybe.
No, it's been noticeable because Jericho never does that.
Yeah, very rarely does he fumble like that. Before we get to the breakdown of the show, we got to talk about Wheeler Yuta's match against Bryan Danielson. Another fantastic bout.
Oh, man.
And it definitely seems like that slap from Regal has awoken something within Wheeler Yuta, a more violent Wheeler Yuta, a more defiant Wheeler
Extra
Yuta.
salivatory.
Yes.
This dude had the biggest glob of spit.
Yes. And
ready for, but man,
bit it right
defiant.
in Danielson's face. And Danielson, those guys were beating the shit out of each other.
Oh my god, that was amazing! It was really
fantastic,
good
really good match. So, really interested. I'm really invested in what they got going with Blackpool Combat Club, from the perspective of how they're recruiting would-be new members.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. I like it. I like it, and they're giving some young upstart wrestlers an opportunity to showcase what they could do, and I'm sure really sit under the learning tree of William Regal, John Moxley and Bryan Danielson and pick their brains. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about hell yeah. The Undisputed Elite had their big championship celebration tonight because they stole the titles off of the Jurassic Express and Hangman Page. So they come out for their Undisputed Elite celebration, and they've got tape with their, and because they don't have real nameplates.
Oh, I know that detail is funny. They put the tape over the nameplates.
They put the tape over,
names,
wrote their names, and so it seems like they're headed for a confrontation. Seemingly sooner than later, because CM Punk earlier in the show was asked directly about, hey, what's up with your discount double check? And he's like, well, everybody here in South Carolina knows that is the universal sign for
State Farm Insurance. I mean, no, yes, I won the championship. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so he said this. Next week, I don't know who's going to be champion. It's either going to be Adam Cole Bebe or Hangman Page.
But like we discussed in the pre-show or kickoff show, maybe it's just like who is actually in physical possession of the belt, not so much who actually has won the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. He thinks the title is a scramble title.
Maybe.
Just whoever has it, has it.
So the segment was fine. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't continue the idea that Cole and Redragon are going to like keep those belts for a while. I kind of thought there might be some humor to be gleaned from that situation.
Some old Undisputed Era type humor.
Yeah, and they just kind of did it for a week, and then Page and Jurassic Express got the belts back, and it's like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want to beat that one into the ground, though. I kind of feel, look, dude, I'm all for some, look, if there's anybody in AEW who's going to be pulling car pranks, it's going to be the Undisputed Era.
Absolutely.
And I want to see that. And cart pranks with the titles would be awesome. But I also understand they probably don't want to beat a dead Tesla. And so it seems like, I don't know what the next theme. They're probably just waiting for this WrestleMania business to be done with so they can do another themed episode. Probably. We had mentioned the possibility of a tax deadline episode, perhaps middle of April. Maybe it'll come at the end of April. Who knows? But yeah, they seem to be headed for a Cole versus Hangman thing. It was kind of cool to see the old Undisputed Era with all the gold, the Undisputed Prophecy. Yeah. Even if it wasn't legit, I thought it was a really cool shout out to NXT, and it's just great to see those guys with a main roster esque programming because we never got to see it in the old days.
Yep. That's true. Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, Coinbase. So, Steve.
Yes.
I'm sure there are a lot of friendos out there like me who are interested in getting to the world of cryptocurrency, probably have no idea where to start. I know I have no idea where to even start with it all. It all just seems so overwhelming.
Yeah, I can understand that. I was once there with you. But then I started using Coinbase, which makes learning to buy and sell cryptocurrency simple. Coinbase's easy-to-use platform has basically turned me from a crypto dullard into the crypto version of Lanny Poffo, a genius. It was a breeze to start my own portfolio, and Coinbase supports the most popular digital currencies on the market, as well as offering portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile app. So I can keep tabs on all my crypto in one place.
Millions of people trust Coinbase with their digital assets, so whether you're looking to diversify, get started, or just find a better way to get into crypto markets, get started today with Coinbase.
For a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at Coinbase.com/going-in. Sign up at Coinbase.com/going-in for $10 in free Bitcoin. This offer is for a limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That's Coinbase.com/going-in.
We can jump into it now. Show kicked off with CM Punk versus Max Caster. Max Caster did his customary pre-match wrap to the ring. And man, got a pop for me referencing CM Punk pooping his pants.
The Z-Pack, poop his pants. He, of course, the first thing out of his mouth was a reference to the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. It was, everybody was looking for it. Punk himself was just laughing the entire time. He seemed super tickled by it.
Yes. Joe Hansen here in chat says Battle of the Belts 2 is Saturday, April 16th, I believe.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go.
That's right around tax time too.
That's a day. Well, tax is probably going to be the Monday afterwards.
It is, yeah.
18th. Okay, cool. I have 3 additional days this year. So yeah, this is a fun match.
Like dig through the couch, try to find all the change I can.
Dude, tell me about it. Fucking being whatever we owning our own business, I guess. Huh? I was about to say freelance. We're not freelancers. So yeah, of course, obviously, CM Punk wins this with an Anaconda Vice. Caster was working over the legs quite a bit, so he was trying to hit that GTS but couldn't quite get it. Hit him with a pile driver and then an Anaconda Vice right afterwards. After the match, Shivani hits the ring for an interview. Punk asks the people in the building what the double discount, you have it in your notes, the discount double check motion means, and they chant his name, even though they should be chanting like, State Farm, Jake. Yeah, he's coming after Jake. Punk says, there's a couple things I don't know who's going to be champion in a week's time, but there's a couple things he does know. There's a little gray in his beard. He says, by the time AEW is over, there's going to be more gray in this beard. I've got some scars on my head. By the time I leave AEW, there's going to be more scars on my head. And before my time in AEW is over, I'm going to be world champion of State Farm.
After that, we get a MJF FTR interview. Before the interview really begins, Mark Sterling's in the background. He's hanging up these posters, essentially, of Wardlow, and it's like, essentially, hey, security, if you see this, man, keep him out of the building.
Yeah, it's like the Steiner posters from
exactly,
WrestleMania a couple years ago.
And so he's putting them all over the place. There's several ringside as well. And MJF is asked, who's this? Oh, this is my lawyer, Mark Sterling. And he's about to, Tony's about to mention Wardlow, and MJF's like, Wardlow doesn't exist in this universe anymore. Let's talk about Pinnacle. Now that Wardlow is gone, we're going to start getting some wins. He puts over FTR in their match upcoming against Gun Club. Says next week Sean Spears and get a win too. And Dax kind of interjects, says, I don't know what's going on between you and Wardlow. We're your friend, but we're also Wardlow's friend. And MJF goes, no. Pinnacle's not about friends. They're family. And I didn't want to mention this, but Wardlow used to talk shit about you guys all the time. And like immediately, you can see, based on the expression on Dax and Cash's face, they're not buying it.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
And he tells FTR to put their hands in, and they do so very hesitantly.
Don't want to do that. Yeah. After that, we had a long, really, really good match between Jon Moxley and Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal once again was able to take his opponent to where?
Their limit.
To their limit. And in the end, though, he's able to evade a couple of attempts at a paradigm shift. But it's a paradigm shift that puts him down for the win for Jon Moxley.
Really good match.
Afterwards, Mox extends his hand. Lethal, after a little bit of hesitation, shakes it.
So they're doing the Lethal lost to,
a bunch of big names. It was like Danielson, Punk, or whoever. It was like a bunch of big names.
A couple weeks ago he lost, and after that, he had that promo where he's like, just last week, where he's kind of questioning himself. He kept on saying, "There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way." So now after this loss, Adam Cole, thank you, Michael Soto.
Yeah, that's the one.
So after this loss, even during the match, at one point he hits a move and he's like beside himself. He gets in the ref's face. He's like, I can't believe that didn't finish it. Afterwards, you can tell he's just disappointed in himself. So there's a story they're going with this. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Bad guy Jay Lethal with his bad guy crew.
Maybe.
After that, we had a really cool Marina Shafir video package. I've got a couple of her matches on Dark. I really like the way they're presenting her. Her theme music's really cool. After that, we had FTR versus the Ass Boys. Another really long match. The Ass Boys, say what you will about them, those guys can sell like crazy. When they're not knocking themselves out via Luthez press attempts. When they're bumping for their opponents, my God, they're really good.
Yeah, they are, and I appreciate that they were adopting some of FTR's own strategies to use against them.
Yeah, right.
For example, that suplex spot where, who was it? Colton grabbed Austin's foot. Make sure you get the pin on Dax. That stuff was good. So eventually, Wardlow. We cut to the concourse. Wardlow's coming into the arena, and he starts laying out all security. They throw at him. He power bombs this dude onto a table. That table doesn't break.
Yeah,
he power bombed the heck out of him.
Yeah,
so eventually he comes down to into the arena, the lower bowl, points at commentary, and MJF he's like yelling at security, "Get him!" So security guards are sent up to the stands to try to intercept Wardlow. He fights them off. Eventually, he gets down to the floor section. He's overwhelmed by security there. So FTR is distracted for a bit by that. Eventually, though, they hit a shatter machine to get the win. MJF runs to the ring to celebrate, and that's when he puts his hand on Dax's shoulder, and Dax swipes it away, and they start arguing about how MJF is treating Wardlow. Eventually, though, MJF hands them their AAA tag titles and raises their hands.
It always cracks me up whenever Billy Gunn inserts himself into a match because he's fucking huge. When he came around side and bapped whoever was Dax or whatever.
Yeah. It's interesting to see him at King of the Ring 96 where he's probably like 60 pounds lighter.
Yeah, right.
But still incredibly jacked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he just looks like a normal dude there because in WWE, like if you're 6'3".
Yeah, if you're 6'6" and probably, 230 at the time.
Yeah, that's like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's just hilarious because he's still amazingly built.
Yeah. Then we get this great video package hyping up the main event for Rampage this week, I believe, between Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee. Hobbs is saying that Keith Lee has been a pain in his ass even before he came to AEW because all he heard about was Keith Lee. Mm-hmm. And he says, well, Keith Lee, you can kiss my ass. And then Keith Lee just says, hey, I commend you, Hobbs, for stepping up to me man to man and having this match with me. And Hobbs says, Rampage, it's my show. It's Ricky Stark's show. And then Keith Lee says, come and bask in my glory. That's going to be awesome.
Here's another guy that doesn't need anybody to talk for him is Hobbs. This is like the most I've heard him talk in one segment.
Good.
And
he's really good.
Fucking good, man.
He's really good.
He's good. After that, we had an overly long Chris Jericho Appreciation Society promo. Jericho says, for over 3 weeks, we've been the revolutionary force in sports entertainment. So I've had people from all over the world wanting to be a part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, but it's not going to happen. There's only 5 of us, GFY. So Garcia says, we saw what happened when pro wrestlers stepped up to sports entertainers. They got future endeavored. And then Parker and Menard, the Magic Man, do a little curtain bit. He's like, hey, go take a peek. You want me to take a peek? Go take a peek. And then he goes and he takes a peek. And then he's like, hey, Hager, go take a peek behind that curtain over there. And Hager's like, they're not here and they're not coming back. And then he steps over to the curtain. They're totally there. And he gets bopped by Ortiz with a loaded sock.
Oh, it was great. That was great.
That was awesome. And then for like another 10 minutes, they just start brawling over the place.
I know. Then the beat down the ring, it was long. Like Jericho was hitting Eddie with his belt. And there was Floyd the Bat involved. Eventually, Jericho hits Eddie with a Judas effect. But for a decent stretch, Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie were beating the heck out of the JAS, and then they got overwhelmed by the numbers.
Who's known for overly long segments? WWE. Mm-hmm. Telling you, man, all this shit it's just taking the piss out of the WWE, man.
It could be. Is this tacky, as Seth would say?
You know what? It's I would hope that he would appreciate it. Because it is. It's clever. It's critique. That's what it is. Yeah. It's not just an obvious shot.
No.
But yeah, no, it's good stuff. Because did you mention this during the pre-show or at the beginning? Did we mention this within the podcast? Your thing about Jericho losing himself in promo sometimes.
I thought we did that during the show.
Okay, cool. I don't know. Sometimes the pre-show bleeds in.
Yeah.
So we had a Jade Cargill interview after that. Sterling says he has Jade's 30th opponent. He says, we had 2 options. And I went with the most prestigious, the librarian Leva Bates, an old friend of ours.
Yeah, I popped. I was like, that's awesome. We haven't seen Leva on
that's
Dynamite
great.
in a long time.
Jade's like, what? My 30th win shouldn't be a joke. Leave. And then it's great because Leva didn't go back the way she came from. She crossed the camera and cried the entire way out, which was a really little bit of show stealing there. It was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And then she's like, well, fucking who else is it, Sterling? And he's like, okay, going to go with option B, Marina Shafir. She's the MMA girl we just saw. And she was like, what? Well, what's wrong? You're not confident? He's like, I just thought Leva was a better option, which clearly means he doesn't want her to have to face Marina Shafir, which is a great little way to, go about it.
Yeah.
And Jade says, you know what? I got no problem taking on Marina Shafir. She did like a little impression.
Yeah.
And then she went to go tend to her baddie section.
Yeah. Then we got Bryan Danielson versus Wheeler Yuta. Fantastic bout. Regal once again joined commentary. Awesome. Just violence. Just beating the hell of each other. Stretching each other.
Lord, man. Wheeler's chest was just destroyed.
Yep.
Like mid-match.
Yep, it was great. And we got to see some fire from Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah,
At one point, Danielson's hitting some 12-6 elbows. Tries to lock on cattle mutilation. Wheeler Yuta escapes that. He starts hitting his own 12-6 elbows. Rolls up Danielson, gets a 2. Yuta's going for some move. I don't know exactly what it was. Bryan counters with an arm drag, hits a knee plus, and he's looking for the Danielson stomps. Before he even stomps him once, Wheeler looks up at him and
oh man, he does like a full-on sit-up and goes just unleashes a massive loogie.
Yeah, it was huge. And then Danielson stomps the living shit out of him. Follows with a gotch-style pile driver.
Oh,
LaBelle lock, but that's not a standard LaBelle lock. He was fish hooking him.
dude, yeah, he was all digging in his mouth.
Grinded his knuckles into his face.
Yeah, man.
It was violent. So Danielson gets the win. Regal, though, towards the whole finish of this match, like Regal's pretty chatty on commentary. The whole finish of this match, he's just sitting there quiet.
Yeah.
And
quite impressed.
Yeah,
by
he's
this
quite impressed. Yeah, the beating is going to teach him a lot about this industry.
Yep. Yeah, that's good stuff. After that, we had a video package for Andrade versus Darby Allin because that was our main event. Before the main event, though, we had the Undisputed Elite Championship celebration. So we mentioned they brought the titles out with their own names taped to them. And there's a little box there in the ring. And Cole's like, what is that? What is that? And Kyle's like, no, chill out. It's okay. And then it's labeled party supplies. And so he opens it up and like 5 golden balloons come out and just float off. And Cole's very impressed with that. So Adam Cole welcomes us to the celebration. He says, first and most importantly, he says, Hangman Adam Page and Jurassic Express aren't here tonight, and they're not here because they weren't invited. They're not here not because they weren't invited. They're embarrassed because we took their title so easily from them. He says, we didn't steal them because you can't steal something that belongs to you. He says, this celebration isn't just for us. It's for all of AEW because AEW needs a new era, a new group to run the show. And AEW has the 3 best wrestlers on the planet. And then Kyle O'Reilly starts sort of fumbling around.
Yeah.
He says, I see the haters. They say that Red Redragon don't have enough wins to challenge for the titles. He says, you know what I have to say? Ratings don't matter. What was that? I had too much champagne. I don't feel too good. I need to go sit down.
Yeah, he just sits down. So Bob Fish takes over. Says what Kyle O'Reilly means to say is that they'll put their resume against anyone in the industry. They're the 3 baddest dudes in this company. Cole says that's why the celebration won't end tonight. It's going all week long. And then Hangman's music plays, and he drives into the arena with a Tesla with some bullhorns on it.
Yeah, man.
He gets to the ring. He takes the fight to Undisputed Elite, tosses Kyle O'Reilly out, drops Bob Fish with the boot, hits O'Reilly with a clothesline, hits Adam Cole with a fall-away slam. He's looking for a buckshot, but Redragon pull Cole out of the ring. So they try to retreat up the ramp. Jurassic Express and Christian attack them from behind. Eventually, Luchasaurus chokeslams Bob Fish, boots Kyle O'Reilly. Christian puts Cole back in the ring. Page is looking for a buckshot. Cole ducks that, so Page just backdrops Cole onto Redragon out on the floor. And then Hangman and Jurassic Express, they have their belts back.
We were denied car pranks plus titles, man.
Maybe we'll still get car pranks.
Drive-throughs, you know. They should have thrown them in the river. After that, we had a Thunder Rosa interview. She comes out. She says, it was such a shame my celebration was cut short last week. She said, I'm your women's champion. I'm the first Mexican-born wrestler to accomplish that. So when I came to AEW, I said I was going to put women's wrestling back on the map. She said, I fought and clawed my way to the top to be the face of the division. She said, now I want to be the face of women's wrestling. She says, every time I get to the top, there seems to be bullies that try to bring me down. She says, I don't want to be a pillar. Pillars get knocked down, but foundations remain standing. She says, I'm going to be a foundation in this company. So if anybody wants to get at me, come get at me. I'm ready. And she says, Nyla, I'm here to fight. If you want to wrestle the best in the world, I'm here.
Yeah. Yep. And we got a response from, it was good. We got a response from Nyla later on. Then we get, before that though, we get an FTR promo. So Cash says, it's been said that they take themselves too seriously. And maybe they do. But this is everything the only thing they ever want to do. And they're doing it together. And they're making history together. AAA tag champs. This Friday, they're going to be the Ring of Honor Tag Champs when they beat the Briscoes. And then after that, they're going to be the first 2-time AEW Tag Champs. And Dax says, we came to AEW to build a reputation, not lose it. He says, I'm tired of waiting, so I'm going to issue the challenge right here. Young Bucks. Let's have a match to see who the greatest tag team of all time really is.
Yeah, man, that's going to be a good one.
You got that right.
Then we had the Bunny versus the debuting Toni Storm. We talked about this a little bit. Toni Storm picked up the win here with the Storm Zero.
Oh, that pile driver was stiff.
Yeah, it was, man. Yeah, that was good
fantastic. And again, hell of a reaction that Toni Storm got. That's awesome. It's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we had a Nyla Rose Vicky interview. Vicky is offended that Thunder questioned her intelligence. Nyla says, I'm the foundation. I'm a cornerstone in this company. Now I'm going to cement my legacy with Rosa's blood.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was. Nyla was great.
Yeah, Nyla was really good. Yeah,
it's all we really need.
I know. Then we got our main event: Andrade El Idolo versus Darby Allin. These guys beat the hell out of each other.
Andrade loves beating the shit out of little dudes.
Yeah. He'll throw him around all over the place. So before the bell even rang to start the match, Andrade hits Darby with a tornillo, blasts him with a skateboard, throws him with a timekeeper's table, drops him onto it, suplexes him onto the ring steps. I mean, Darby got some shit in there too. But that suplex, like he turned the ring steps sideways.
Yeah.
And then suplex Darby. He picked him up from the barricade, walked him over, and suplexed him on top.
Oh.
And that was all before the bell even rang to start the match. The bell finally rang.
The ref is like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And Darby's like, yeah, man. Of course
He grabs the Bryce by his shirt and says, I'm going to do this. And then the beatdown just continues. So Andrade is just working over Darby, hits corner knees. Darby would try to get some stuff in, but Andrade would always have a response. At one point, Andrade's looking for a razor's edge. Darby reverses that into a code red, gets a 2. But again, Andrade right back on the offense. Drops Darby with a massive slap. So then Andrade takes off his belt. And so Bryce Remsburg takes it from him. While all that's happening, Darby undoes his own belt and trips up Andrade with it, hits a stunner, gets a 2. So Darby runs into a massive backbreaker, kicks out. Andrade puts him on the top rope. Darby reverses into a crucifix bomb, but they rotated all the way over.
Yeah.
So Andrade basically landed on his stomach.
Yeah, but it was 6 inches away from being on his head.
Yeah.
God damn.
It was really close. So then Darby locks onto Fujiwara armbar. Jose, the assistant, comes to ringside. Sting chases him down, blasts him from behind. Butcher and Blade come out. They start taking the boots to Sting. Darby takes them out with a splash off the top. And then Darby looks for a springboard coffin splash on Andrade. Andrade catches him, hits him with a deadlift buckle bomb. Follows with a hammerlock DDT to get the win. Afterwards, huge brawl breaks out because AFO attacks Sting. Private Party runs out to join the fight. Hardy's come down to make the save. And Mark Quinn has to eat a twist of fate from Matt and a swanton from Jeff to close the show.
Going into this, I never would have thought they'd have Darby Allin lose to Andrade. That was a great win for Andrade.
It's huge.
Man.
He needed
awesome.
that. He needed
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I really feel like he gets a lot of time. He gets a lot of shine. A couple wins. That dude, he should have. Who's the TNT title now? Oh, it's Scorpio Sky. They're sort of not in a thing. But, man, God, Andrade with that TNT title.
The last 5 matches Andrade has had have been great.
Yeah.
The match against Cody was good. His one-on-one match against Sammy was good. The triple threat with him, Sammy, and Darby was really, really good. That was on Rampage. Right. Match tonight, really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm probably forgetting one, but those 4 matches, outstanding.
Let's get that. And, he's always in a prominent spot. Absolutely. That'd be cool. Michael Sodopes is given an AEW title shot. Even if he gets a title shot and loses, he can drop back down to the TNT title. By that time, maybe somebody will take it off Sky. Hopefully at the end of the year it'll be Sting, and then because of the history there, Andrade can take it off Sting at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, but Keith Lee's got to win it before the end of the year.
Well, no, I kind of like my way better.
I mean, your way's fine because it eventually gets the belt on Andrade, which I'm all for, but...
Right, so we can both agree that my way is
Keith Lee needs to have
go.
it. As long as Keith Lee has it, December 31st.
Doesn't really, But then later on, so December 31st, Sting wins it,
No,
too.
January 1st is fine. That's January 1st is cool. But
all right,
31st
let's answer some damn questions here. We have a thread up here on the Patreon at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Somebody asked for a Car Pranks t-shirt, Larson.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We really need, I got to find like an artist that does like cartoony type shit because I'm not sure that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be fun.
That'd be funny.
Let's see here. David Matushik. Well, okay, so he says, now that FTR is conflicted by MJF to stay in the Pinnacle, he says, when and where should the inevitable face turn happen? We've kind of been seeing it, and tonight for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe like he means
saying
fuck you to MJF.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, it started when they fired Tully. That's when it started.
Yeah, right.
And there hasn't really been, they put a lot of emphasis on it, but I'm guessing the general idea is they've been so wrapped up in Pinnacle business, it's taken their eyes off why they're in AEW to begin with, to solidify their own legacy. And part of that is beat the Young Bucks, get the titles back.
Mm-hmm.
Miku, if the Owen Hart tournament winners get a challenge any champion at any time within a year, who would you like to see win on each side, and who should they face?
I mean, I don't think it would be a terrible thing for Toni to win the Owen.
I think it'd be a really good idea.
Side and have her take on Jade. You know, I mean, she'll lose and that's fine, but like it'll be a hell of a match and a great competitor for Jade.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about on the men's side?
On the men's side,
if you do the TNT and TBS titles, have
Sting. But no, I want that in December. You know, how awesome would it be? Because look, if Wheeler Yuta is going to join the Clobbering Club, he does need, like, I feel like that's elite company right there. And I know that they want their stable of like young boys basically, but how cool, I mean, that's just throwing this out there. It'd be kind of cool if Wheeler Yuta won that thing as further proof. Like, what if you have to go through some fucking shit in order to get into the Clobbering Club? You know what I mean? And like winning the Owen Cup, it's like, okay, you're good. you can join our stable of young boys after you won that.
Not only have you won that, you won that by literally beating the hell out of everybody, you know?
Right, exactly.
It's not just winning it, it's how you win it. You got to dole out just levels of violence.
Massive amounts of violence,
Yeah. Dangam Q, what other WB tropes do you want to see Jericho Appreciation Society do next, and why is it watching TV backstage from the side?
That's good. I like the idea. Somebody here mentioned like he would stop mid promo and ask for a line.
This is what I want. I want Jericho to be in a 1-on-1 match. And it ends in like a weird finish, DQ finish. We go to commercial. He comes back and he demands that it be made a tag match.
That's good. I like that. Let's see here. Nicholas Price says, with Mox being a face and Danielson being a heel, I kind of disagree with that. I think they're both kind of tweeners. Like Mox is a bit more on the face side of tweener. Yeah. Danielson's maybe a bit more on the heel side of tweener. He says, what other face heel tag teams would you like to see? Lance Archer and
Paul White.
Oh, that's fun.
I was going to say Hobbs and Keith Lee. Imagine them as a tag team. That'd be great.
Hey, that's a good one. I like that a lot.
They would be a great tag team. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be killer, dude. Let's see here. Soken Rose asks, what do you think of Hangman Page's title run so far?
Great matches. I think the match has been outstanding. I'm looking at this as it's a subtle, slow burn. So we're not going to have the huge story beats, I don't feel like. I feel like his legacy for this particular reign to be made in the ring, the matches he has. But you know what? This could be a slow burn, and he can have just that one feud that's just absolutely electric. Whether it's, the final feud where he loses it or the penultimate one. I kind of hope he gets to really sink his teeth into something creatively that's a little more dramatic than what he has been doing. Because so much of it has just been really subtle and a slow burn. And, like when he had that, when they had the elimination tag match, where it was him and Dark Order against the Elite. And they had he and the Dark Order, they had a huge dramatic entrance, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the most significant story beats of his story with Kenny was just Kenny not holding him up.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Hangman story is not huge sweeping moments. It's subtlety in little moments.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a huge moment for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's been fine. I think he's had a bunch of good matches, like you said, and I think he's in a pretty solid story right now with with the standard bearers of NXT, and Adam Cole, a guy who by every right should be a world champion at this point. I think that's good. I think that feels like a big story. So yeah, I like it so far. I think so many people are so anxious to jump on it because and I don't know why. I would have liked, and I kind of feel like we would have had it. Him versus Mox. I'd like to see him take on former champions.
Yeah.
Who do we have? Obviously he beat Kenny.
Yeah.
He got Jericho, he got Mox.
Yeah.
And I think you could do a lot of fun stuff with that. I mean, Jericho is positioning himself as Mr. WWE basically. Mm-hmm. You had mentioned that you thought that match was going to go down at Double or Nothing, which is a possibility.
Well, my timeline was wrong. It would be All Out would be 3 years. It was All Out.
Oh, come on. In our canon, it's Double or Nothing.
I have to acknowledge that I was corrected, but then now I'll go forward that it happened at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, but that's totally fine. I mean, that's 6 months from now, or that's 5 months from now.
Yeah.
And that's a good timeline. You have Cole, you got CM Punk. Those are both. I mean, they already did Cole, but they're going to do Cole again. Mm-hmm. You got CM Punk. That's going to be huge.
That will be huge.
They're going to make something big out of that.
Yeah. As they should. I'm guessing one of the qualms about Page's title run probably has less to do with Page himself as opposed to potentially getting overshadowed by Punk MJF story.
Yeah.
And as far as huge moments, that's what I'm talking about. So is these storylines that just are the focal point of entire shows. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's that's the balance of AEW. That's why I like AEW, because they can tell big stories outside of the title scene.
Totally.
His story dominated how long? Him and Kenny? It dominated from the inception of AEW. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let's get some room for other big stories to be told. Punk versus MJF could have easily main evented, but they kept with the title match. But, yeah, you're going to be rotating in and out different stories just to keep people, interested. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Austin was constantly on a chase after he won it in 98. Yep. He only had it for 3 months or something like that before Kane got it off him. So, yeah, you gotta if you're not going to have them, if you're not going to hot potato the title and have your champion chase or your consummate champion chase, you got to stack the odds against them. Mm-hmm. And that's what they do every single time. They had Danielson come in, take him to his limit, literally the time limit. And then Lance Archer, the Texas Deathmatch guy. I think it's been fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been good. Shane's birthday tweet. Do you think one of the reasons Dynamite felt good tonight because we had no Sammy, Ty, Lambert segments that left a bad taste from last week? If Lambert's not on the show, the opportunity to enjoy it drastically goes up.
I will always perk up when I know there's a Sammy Guevara match on TV because I know I'm going to see some cool shit. If I know he's going to be on the mic, or if Dan Lambert's going to be on the mic, couldn't care less. Just how I feel about Sammy Guevara. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Patrick Sparks, B-Man, Don Wagner. My line to The Wire talk.
Yes.
Says, he just says this, replace JR on commentary. One person from the universe of all promotions, one actor/actress, and one athlete from any sport, retired or active. Replace JR on commentary with 3 people?
Or is this 3 options?
Is this like a Raw Game Mutant situation?
So wait, what's the first one? Anybody from the world of wrestling?
No, one actor/actress.
Wasn't there someone from the world of wrestling too?
One athlete from any. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. One person from the universe of all promotions.
Give me Kevin Kelly, because he's outstanding.
If this is we're replacing them with several people, I'm going to add to that Steve Corino. I want that as the duo.
Yeah. Man, they were so good in New Japan. An actor or actress? Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, just because I'm watching a lot of The Wire lately, I'm going to go with Idris Elba.
Oh, that's great. What a great answer.
He's also the voice of the Sonic character.
Yeah.
Is it Knuckles?
Yeah, I think so. What an outstanding answer, Steve.
Thank you. Stringer Bell.
Tremendous
R.I.P.
answer.
Stringer Bell.
I'm going to say Walter Goggins. Uncle Baby Billy.
I love it.
And then we need an athlete. Either a current or former athlete.
Pat McAfee.
Oh, good.
That's my guy right there. Oh, Max Casta just talked about CM Punk pooping his pants.
Pupe.
There you go. Let's see here. Mountain Mike Jesus says, best car prank. Tony Khan finally giving Fuego a contract, but it's only enough to buy a used Hyundai. Great car prank. Even better, by Miro when he destroyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an outstanding car prank.
That was a wonderful
Great car prank.
Oh, man. All right. Anyways, that's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow at noon Pacific. No, is it 1 or noon? Are we back on normal time?
I think it's back to noon, but I could be wrong.
I think it's like a 3-week gap, isn't it?
Oh, then it would be 1.
I don't know. We'll be back tomorrow.
Zones are so confusing.
We'll be back tomorrow with some more, with another UK watch along. I don't know when the Ilya Roderick Strong match is going down, but
I think it's this week.
Is it this week?
I think so.
Nice. That's cool. Right here at the twitch.tv/Steven Larson. And then, of course, tomorrow's The Numbers Don't Lie for Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow night, The Smash Zone. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.